I built this doghouse in the fall of 2019 for a couple of different reasons. The first and most obvious reason is that I have dogs. I had 3 dogs at the time, Hannah, Riley, and Tank. Riley and Tank were the 2 newer dogs to the household, were senior rescues from Missouri and were outside dogs used to living in a doghouse. I thought they would appreciate having a doghouse in their forever home, although they were inside dogs anyway. Tank is the white dog there that ended up using it the most, but unfortunately has since passed away from nasal cancer. The other reason I built this doghouse was to teach myself basically how to build small structures with the intention of working my way up to building small cabins, and I've got a few other projects on my list as well. I have no training in carpentry, I just have a passion and want to learn how to build things, so I teach myself the best I can. I built this doghouse entirely out of cedar, and this cedar happened to be gifted to me, which was very nice because it actually did cut down on the time it took me for this build, which was, I think, in the end about 3.5 to 4 weeks, and that included all of the milling. I did all of the milling myself on my Woodland Mills HM126 bandsaw mill. For the foundation of the doghouse, I buried cedar posts into the ground. I burnt them first and then leveled up the back on rocks. The subfloor is true 2x4 hemlocks for structural reasons, and then I insulated the floor with 1-inch foam insulation. The platform itself is 6 feet by 8 feet, with the doghouse measuring 3.5 feet by 8 feet, and that left me with a 2.5-foot covered porch area. The main timbers are 3x3s and 2x2 supports. And although I did some lap joints and insetting of posts, everything is held together by carriage bolts and lag screws. The rafters are about 1.5 inches by 5 inches, and the roof planks are about 3/4 of an inch. The rest of the doghouse is insulated with a combination of 1-inch and 3/4-inch foam insulation. And I put metal roofing on, which I spray painted black to match the main house. I custom designed the windows and had them cut out locally by a glass store there for me, just single panes. I had an old fir door that was gifted to me as well, and I had help from a friend to cut that down to size and make it look as much like an original door as possible. I think it turned out well. And then I inserted the dog door into that door. Board and batten siding, and a set of stairs, and a few other finishing touches completed the exterior. So I'll just take you on a little tour through the inside. And I guess you could say that this doghouse technically sleeps 4 dogs, or there's space for 4 separate beds. It smells beautiful. It's a beautiful cedar smell. It actually smells like a sauna when you go in there. My original thought in the design process was that each dog, each platform, or each bed space would have a window so that they could look out. Now, in terms of the outside and the stain, my original plan was to stain it black. After having fallen in love with this black on black look that you see right here, I ended up finding this dark blue stain, which was similar to black, but not black. I ended up buying it because it was on sale, so although I think it looks okay, I think I'm gonna redo it in the original look that I had wanted. And then I just stained the other boards, the other cedar boards there in a teak. It's been a 1.5 years since I built this doghouse, and so I think it's a good time to talk about just a little bit about the pros and cons of the design. And so the pros are that I still really like it. I like the look of it. I like the steep pitch. I think it suits the house. It suits the property. It sheds the snow really well, which is important for where I live. And yeah, I like the human door, that it allows me to go in and take the blankets out and clean things in there pretty well. It's like 6 feet, I think, in the inside. Yeah, it holds the heat really well with the 1 inch of insulation. And yeah, I like the covered porch. I think it would be, if you didn't have dogs, I think it would be a great playhouse for kids too. And yeah, so overall, I'm really happy with it. I think that the biggest drawback that it has is if you have multiple dogs, that it's probably not the best design with the 1 dog door with the 1 entry. And I say that based on experience with the 3 dogs that we had. So Tank was the dog, the white dog, that has since passed away, but did have some, not aggression issues, but just some like kind of a jerk. He was a bit of a jerk. So he would, if he was already in there and another dog went in, Riley, the black dog, for example, he would growl. So if you have 2 dogs, or 1 or 2 dogs that live harmoniously together in the household, I think it would work fine. But if you have multiple dogs, I think having something with like a few different entry points would probably be better. But overall, yeah, I really like it. And Norton is one of the new dogs that we got, and is sort of the one that looks like Tank, the old white dog. And oddly enough, he is the one that likes it now the most. So he goes in and plays in there. And yeah, so anyways, thanks for watching.
Really dumb.
Good job, Clyde.